Hi, everybody. I got some very, very, very special mail today. I've been anxiously awaiting this. If it helps you to understand where it came from, it came over from the United Kingdom. So wait until I get it out and I will show you. Now, I do want to tell you ahead of time, you may have to be participating in this as well. It's a box. You know how they have all the holiday boxes and different things like that. This isn't a holiday box, but it's a special once a year box that is a very big deal in the stitching community, at least in the realms that I hang around in. And so let's see what it is, but it could be a spoiler. Now, one moment, and let me get the box open, and I will tell you who it's from. And because of the spoiler, I just don't want... I know a lot of people like to open theirs with Nicola and her video, and she has already posted her video. I just don't know if everybody has seen it yet. But we are not supposed to post it on any of our channels until she has done it on hers. But just in case someone hasn't seen it yet, she has posted with a spoiler alert on hers as well, her All Things Bright and Beautiful box. So this is the All Things Bright and Beautiful box 2. So it's continuing in the theme of last year's box. I watched the video that she put out. It came out this morning. It's fantastic, guys. I already know what's in the box because of that video. And I'm going to get it out. And, you know, you think, oh my gosh, that box was expensive. And then you see what all is in it. And you go, now, something is missing from mine. I hope it's on the inside. It is. I ordered a couple of things separate, and she put them in the top of my box. I ordered this collection of 100.3 threads, silk threads. Put it on this side. And she gets these every once in a while. She does not always have the silk threads in stock. And when she gets them, they're usually a specific collection for a specific reason. Like she's trying to help people build up their colors. And when she gets them, she doesn't get the same ones that we get here in the United States, which are usually 50 yards. She gets the 150. So, these are 10 of the, so they are a little bit more than just the 50, the size we get here in our country, but they're 3 times the size. Yeah, so, well worth it. And, I have never sewn with these before. I'm really excited to start working with them. Now, of course, this is a collection of colors. It doesn't really fit any pattern that I'm getting. This is not in the All Things Bright and Beautiful box. My order was separate. Okay? And she was kind enough to save me some postage by putting them in the box with my other things. The other thing I ordered separate was the All Things Bright and Beautiful panel to make a project bag. So this was not in the box either. Although she does show it totally made up in her video about the box. Today's video. She didn't want to reveal what it looked like before because it would give away one of the patterns in here. So she showed the back fabric. This is the back of it. And this is the secondary fabric. It's the back and sides of it. Let me turn it this way so you can see that. And All Things Bright and Beautiful, it's about animals. Where there's some sort of animal feature to the projects we're going to do. And of course, the inside lining is all about the African animals. Okay. Then her trim and her binding are the stripe right here. And then the very top banner in the front is all creatures great and small. And then it has a feature on the front of one of the panels, one of the projects that is in the box that features birds. It's gorgeous. And it's one that's not going to take forever in a day either, but just look at it. Okay. See if I can get it down here where you can see it good. And my apologies. There you go. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so this is the project bag. You're still going to need your batting, or if you like to use Anti-Soft and Stable, whatever you like to use. You need that, and you're going to need your zipper. She has a video online that tells you how to do her bags. So just go to her channel, Nicola Parkman at Hands Across the Sea on YouTube, and there is a video there showing how to create her boxes. Now, I want to show you the cover of the box. It's a red box, All Things Bright and Beautiful, Volume 2. Now, she will not be having a red box for next year. I was really sorry to hear that, but yet at the same time, she says they're doing something different that is ultra special for next year. So I don't know if she'll never have another red box or if it's just next year. And then she puts a sticker in there that she says is easily removable to put in our book of days, and wraps everything in tissue paper. Okay. Well, I just tore my tissue paper, but I was trying to leave that sticker intact so I could put it in my book of days. All right. Then there's lots of this pink stuff in here. Okay. And then right on the very top, we have this zipper bag that has all kinds of goodies. Now, she did say in the video that this pattern is not in the kit, but that this would be coming out later in the year. This particular pattern will be available for us to purchase later in the year. It's just, yeah. And there's part of it on the back. And it says it's Anne Watson's work, finished in her, I think, 11th year, anno 1839. It says, Jesus, permit thy gracious name to stand as the first efforts of an infant's hand, and as her fingers go o'er the canvas, move, engage her tender heart to seek thy love. With thy dear children may she have a part, and write thy name, thyself, upon her heart, that all around her works may see and give glory, Lord, to thee. And, you know, the kids used to do these to learn a lot of different things. They would teach them contemplation and meditation with God with them, and you're going to see that in a lot of them. They taught them their ABCs. They taught them their how to read, to write with them. These were used in all the schools during that time, sewing samplers. And as they sewed, they learned. And so what Hands Across the Sea does is they specialize in reproduction samplers. And she has got a whole website. Ooh, this is to put on if you have if you choose to get, or you choose your own project bag. It's to put on your zipper. Ooh, I happen to know these are handmade, and she sold thousands, like thousands of these boxes. So the person, this lady that does these handmade, her name is Minnie McBean's Needlework Fripperies. She has an Etsy shop. Minnie McBean's Needlework Fripperies. I'm going to turn this so that you can see. And her product are accessories for the needleworker. And I know for a lot of the Hands Across the Sea, but she does it for other things. She makes these dangles for our project bags. Needleworkers love to decorate their project bags. And see, this one is based on one of the projects that we're going to see in there. And see, and it's got animals to go along with the theme. There's a rabbit, there's a butterfly. Here is a hummingbird. There's an elephant, a dragonfly, there's a horse, and there's a dog. And she makes all of these. She does the, I don't remember what you call this. People, there's a lot of people that do this work where they pour this liquid in something and make these. Yeah. So this can either be a thread bobbin, go on a thread bobbin, or on one of your bags. Because see, I don't think it'll hold very much thread. So I think it'll go on my bag when I get it done. Okay. And then it comes with these little things here to make into pin cushions. And she suggests you just fill the entire thing with the walnut shells. And she says the quality of this fabric, the walnut shells are not going to put out any dust through it or anything. And it does feel to be very good quality. So she says you do not have to back it. And there's enough here to make 3 of the pin cushions. See, here's the front and then here's the back. Here's 1, 2. And she showed them all made up, and she had picked out a trim to put on the sides of hers. So you can do that however you want. But so there we've got pin keeps to make. There's 3 of them. If you want to see how cute they look all made up, go to her website. For now, I am going to put these back in here. I think I'm going to actually put them into the bigger bag, because I probably won't put that fabric back in. My puppy down here is very curious as to what it is I'm jingling and jangling. All right. So let's see what else is in the bag. Oh. That is cute. This is a needle minder, also from Minnie McBean's. And it is made with the same horse. See it? Her little business card has got a, I guess it goes this way. It's got a little cross-stitch project on it. See it? And look at the back of this, the little button that they made the back of the needle minder for, you know, for the magnet. It's made from a button, a handmade button, handmade with love. Yeah, I know people that make these buttons similar to this. Isn't that cute? So we have a little needle minder to go with our projects. Okay. Oh. This is also from Minnie McBean's Needlework, and it's a little dangle to go on this bag. Isn't that cute? I'm going to put it on right now. Let me show it to you. It's a little bejeweled butterfly. Yeah. It's got several different colors of stones. There's a dark blue stone, one that looks like an emerald, one that looks like an amethyst, and one that looks like a pink topaz or something. See it? Isn't that cute? And this is for, let's see if I can get it. My hands shake a little bit. I'm going to see if I can get it off and go ahead and put it on. And I know this is for this bag. I had forgotten about it because she showed us in the video. Okay. So my little bag has got a little decorative charm on there. So we got the bag. We got the things there, and we got one more item. Now, you think, why would they give you a glasses case? Not everybody wears glasses. Well, some people, there are a fair amount of people do use magnifying glasses for needlework, but really that's not what most needleworkers use these for. Some of them do. They use them to hold their scissors, their needles, and different things for that. Now, she ordered this from, I can't tell what company made this for her. It just has, because it has her brand name on it. But she ordered them from a manufacturer, and it has all of this band on there. And then it has a glasses cleaner that is like the sampler that we're not going to get this time, but we'll be seeing later in the year. I don't know if this is going to be the Queen of the May. I don't know what this is going to be, but she says it's going to be a really special sampler later in the year. And it's got Adam and Eve on it. And you guys know that I want to collect and do Adam and Eve samplers. So that is going to be a fun one, right? I think she said this was not in the kit. I may be wrong. We'll find out here in a moment, right? And anyway, pretty sure she said that. And this is also decorated with motifs from that same. And you can use whichever side you want as the top. This can be your top. They're exactly the same. Or this can be your top. And most stitchers use this actually for their stitching, to keep their scissors and everything, and they can stick it in that way the bag that they have to take if they're going to be sitting in a doctor's office or something like that is just much smaller. This is cool. All right, I'm going to put all that down, and I'm going to put this here for now. And we start pulling out the envelopes. My dog is sitting here looking at all of the shreds, the pink shreds. Okay, now the first one is an envelope, which most of the rest of the things, I believe everything else is in an envelope. And it's a kind of a, not really a turquoise blue, but it's a pretty vivid type of a blue. I don't know what you would call this blue, but it's really pretty. It doesn't come across the same color on the camera, I can tell you that. Okay. And this, yes, this is called, this is one that did not have, they don't know anything about it. They don't know what year it was made. They don't know who originally did it. So they just chose to name it All Creatures Great and Small. And it's a sampler. Look at that. And I'm not going to read the story behind all of these, but she does talk about that this is unnamed because they don't know who it was. The recommended fabric for this is going to be can't see it. It's got recommended for 100.3 SDA, DMC, different threads. Oh, 20, they did their sample on 28 or 32 count linen. I am probably going to do mine on 36 so that I can use one thread. Now, it is recommending 2 over 2, but I'm going to do mine to 36 count. And that way I can just use, and it even says that here, one thread. So I don't know when I'll be kitting this up to use it, but here it is. I love it. And I can tell you by watching her video, there was not a single sampler in there that wasn't wonderful. I was sitting there looking at it, just Googling. This one's lime green envelope. So if you watched her video, do you remember what was in the lime green video? Quickly type it below. I mean, in the lime green envelope. And then we'll see. Oh, yes, this is lovely. And she said this one reflects the relationship between humans and their animals. And this was a sampler stitched by a young lady called Sarah Royal in 1828. I'm not going to go through all the details about her life like she did in her video. Please watch her video. Whenever I start these, though, I will. But it says that she completed her work on May the 6th of 1820. And see the dog, and then there's a bird at the top. And she said this represents the relationship between humans and their pets, and other animals too. But and this is rated for stitchers of all abilities from beginners on up. Okay, now this is a goodie because I might be able to get some of my fabrics, but it's only got until May the 31st. This is, I believe, a 15% discount. Let's see. Hobby House Landing, and this is in the United States. I think last year a great deal of the coupons were overseas, so this is nice that we have one in the United States. Hobby House Needleworks is in the United States, in Victor, New York, and they have a great online store. And it's a 10% discount. And they have 3 businesses there. They have a quilting business. They have a stitching business. And I can't remember what the other one is. But you can use that 10% across all 3. And it's good until it doesn't combine with other offers if they've got things on sale, it says. Which is pretty usual for a coupon. But it can be, you just need to redeem it by May the 31st. So plan accordingly if you need to buy any fabrics or anything. And then, still compare your prices, though. Because somebody else might have a sale that's more than 10%. But that's not usual on the cross-stitch threads. We all know that. This one is bright orange. So let's see what's in here. Okay. Oh, this one's really cute. This is Rebecca Austin from 1893 is when she completed this. I'm going to see if she says in here the age. Says she was born in 1877. And this was born in 1893, 1877. So she would have been in 1887. She would have been 10. So she would have been about, like, I don't want to do the math, but about 15 inner teens when she did this sampler. And here it is. Very colorful, very pretty sampler. And look at all their animals and things that are on there. All around that motif at the bottom. See the birds? I love the little hearts there. The words, the little thing is trust in the Lord forever. It's pretty. She liked bright, vivid colors, that girl did. All right, let's see what the next one is. This is kind of a baby blue, almost very similar to that other envelope, but it's much lighter in color. Okay. I think this one was, yeah, this is Elizabeth Parks from 1857, who did this one. And you're going to see a lot of animal motifs. The horse that is on our little dangles here. Let's get this one out and I'll show it to you. Hold on. It's off of this sampler, I'm noticing. See the horse? And see how there is a bird or a bee, something flying above the horse. Okay? Now, here you go. And it says she was 38 years old in 1857, and that's when she completed this. But there is the horse. There are a lot of birds on here. There's some kind of animal there. I don't know if that is a dog, a cat, a fox. There are a lot of different little birds on here. And there's even kind of an exotic looking parrot. There's a horse. There's a bee. It's really cute. Okay. Oh, here's another. Oh, Hands Across the Sea gift voucher. Ooh, you guys. Thank you for purchasing All Creatures Great and Small, a treasury of samplers, Volume 2. Now, I cannot give you the code because it's only for people who bought the box. But it's 20% off at the website, and you can use this code up until July the 31st for anything you purchase. So you can go on there, and she said to hold on to it. We're going to be able to make good use of it. So, 20%. That could pay for that tariff like twice, guys. So, use that. All right. No, this isn't the same one. Okay. It's just got a similar style to it. This is called Mary Borrowdale. From 1826. And there are several different kinds of animals, primarily birds on here. And one thing that I am not certain what it is, what the little girl meant to do right here. I couldn't tell it on Nicola's video, and I cannot tell it here. But right here, Nicola thinks this had to do with the Billy Goat's Gruff, because this is a bridge that looks out over this schoolyard, and apparently she knows of this schoolyard. So, anyway. I'm wondering if it says inside how big these are going to be. Because I've noticed these don't really say that, how big they're going to be. Okay, it's on the back page for those of you who are ordering this. If you do this on 36 count linen, you will end up with a needing fabric 19.06 inches by 18.33 inches. So that'll tell you about how big it will be. If you go up to 40 count linen, you will need 17.75. Now that includes your framing area. So they're not huge pieces like some of them. Some of these that are in this kit are huge. But where it looks to me like she's putting the fabric is in the inside back cover. And she kind of says here, that this is where you can find what she used them on. This one here is on Hog Bristle by Fox and Rabbit Linen. Okay, and here is what it is once again. And I've seen several patterns lately calling for Hog Bristle. And I remember when she was going through this in the video, that several of those called for Hog Bristle as well. So, all right, this is a purple one. You know, if you are wanting to make library cards to hold the information, like Lori Holt teaches on the back, these envelopes, you could repurpose these and make those library cards, by the way. The envelopes to put cards in with information. Now, when you purchase a regular pattern off of her site, she includes a card to do that with. She doesn't in these because it's just too many patterns. Now, this one is Molly Stone from 1918, and Animals Galore. It's just beautiful. And here it is. I'm going to put it up close so that you can see the motif. Okay. There in the bottom. Okay. And it says that when it finishes, it will be, depends on the size of linen, but if you pick 36 count, you're going to need, the stitch size will be 6.17 inches by 14.67 inches, and you're going to need 12.17 inches by 20.67 inches of fabric. She always calls for like 6 inches of extra fabric. I don't ever get that much. I get about 3 inches extra. But that's up to you. I think it depends upon how you're going to frame them and how you like to frame them. Now, this one calls for Cedar River linen in the shade of Pyrite. But you can use any, and it tells you the different sizes for fabric from 28 count all the way up to 56 count. I don't really think I have any interest, at least not at this point, of going above 40 count. My favorite is actually going to look like 36 count, but yet most of the fabric I've bought as of late has been 40 count. Excuse this, I'm moving around, my pups are moving around. They're both on my lap, so sorry about that. But it keeps them calm. Okay, bright yellow envelope this time. This is a kind of a thicker pattern, which tells me it's going to be larger. And this, I think, is the one that was the center. I'm not really certain. She said was the center of the display. This is called Winifred Seabright from 1828. She was from Milton in England, age 9. And this was, as I said, finished in 1828. It says, exonerate your mind of worldly cares. Spend each Lord's day in spiritual affairs. Such wretched souls as squander, says wretched souls as squander that always repent it sorely at their dying day. She's running some of her words together. There's no space in between. And so she must have been trying to keep her borders exact. So, exact along the edges here. So she ran some of her words together, and it makes it a little difficult to read. And it's in older English as well. So for us modern day people, it's a little bit harder. But it's harder mainly because the words are all together. And I'm just going to tell you, since you know that she has everything there for all the different ones, she is recommending Scrimshaw by Cedar River Linen. And she showed us how pretty the Scrimshaw was. So Scrimshaw must mean it looks kind of like an ivory, the color of an ivory, I would think. That's what usually was scrimshawed. Okay. Now here's another one. I don't remember if there were any more coupons in here or not. I think there was. I'm not going to tell you who it was yet, but I think there was at least one more, if not two. I'm not positive. Okay. This is another one that she did not have a lot of information about who did it. It just was an antique sampler that they found, and it was really pretty, so they recreated it. They don't know really anything about it. But so they just decided to call it Where Birds Once Sang. And it's really, really pretty. And it's not a huge piece. On the 36 count linen, the stitched area will end up 9.28 inches by 6.9 inches. And that's on 36 count. Of course, once again, she gives all of her other counts. This one's Hog Bristle by Fox and Rabbit is the color that she's recommending. And you can see it's kind of a neutral, one of the neutrals. So if you have a neutral in your stash, that might be quite helpful. That will work for you. My Dotson just saw his own reflection in a piece of glass down there. Now, this is a beautiful one. I just think it's really cute. This one's Emily Clement from 1885. She was 12 years old, and it's from the Veldenir Board School I think in Wales, is what she said, in 1885. And you can see exactly, okay. I gotta keep, all right, there we go. Sorry, he jumped back up here. So here, she said that this little girl, they featured a little girl here, even though they don't know what these children looked like. These are all representations. And this one is in the typical Welsh school outfit of the time. And here is, and she said that this building still exists, and she actually found pictures of it as it would have looked at that time, because photography was there, and or shortly after that. And she said that this is almost an exact representation of that building. So she said the little girl was just really good at what she did. Now, in these, she doesn't really, like she does on some of her bigger patterns, have pictures of the originals. Because, you know, she's trying to keep the cost of these boxes down. But anyway. Now, this one is stitched in Pyrite Linen by Cedar. Pyrite by Cedar Linen again. And she put in a poem here. It says, Land of my fathers. The land of my fathers, the land of the free, the home of the brave and the true. Land where the minstrel loves stiff to roam, where bardic muse found its home. Thy noble warriors, so gallant and brave, for freedom their life's blood they gave. Wales, Wales, sweet land of the singing, while sea her wall may not befall, so the ocean is her wall. O land of my fathers, Wales. No, Maverick, you stay over there, honey. So anyway, that, I love that. There's the sheepdog. She lived on a farm, I will tell you that much. And so these animals were a part of her daily life. And I'm just taking the things out in the order that I come across them here. Very pretty. This one's called Elizabeth Land, 1851. Now, these dates are usually the dates that the children recorded that they finished the project. And it's on here. And that's what this one says. Elizabeth Land, age 12 years, July 15th, 1851. This one, if you're using 36 count. Now, they're all printed a little bit differently. So that thing that says what size is on a different place in the various books. So it says care should be taken when working the border vine. Can count carefully. So apparently that border vine can be a little bit persnickety. So if you're doing this on 36 count linen, the design will be 8.06 inches by 8.67 inches. And this one has been worked in a shade of caramel by Seraphim Linen. Okay. So caramel by Seraphim Linen. Now she doesn't give any fabric because people are kind of picky about fabric. They like to choose. So instead, she just gives you more patterns. Okay? And if you've seen the cost of Hands Across the Sea patterns, any patterns for that matter anymore, but these antique reproduction patterns, because of the time they take and the research that they do on the patterns, especially she does, but there's several different reproduction people that do reproductions that oh, this is funny, but there's several people that do reproductions that do, and they do a lot of research on them. Now, this is actually one from the design studios of Hands Across the Sea. So it's modern, and it's a Christmas one. And she is just saying it would be a quick one for Christmas in July or something. And it's called V.M. Baker. Fair Play is a Jewel. Now, I don't know if she actually created this one or if she's saying that because she doesn't know who it is. No, she's saying that it's done by her on the inside. And on the back, it's saying it's done by Eggshell. And the fabric is Eggshell by Dames of the Needle. But, you know, that is a simple and a small sampler. So you probably could do that. Oops, almost. Here is another coupon from foxandrabbit.com. This is for 15% off of fabric. This is valid until July the 31st, 2026. So depending on how you plan and when you consider that code will work for you, however much you order between now and July the 26th, 15% if you like Fox and Rabbit. I think they're in the UK, so that 15% would give you 5% off, plus that would also pay the 10% tariff that's on now is on stuff there. Oh, and here's another one from Cedar River Linen. I don't know where Cedar River Linen is, but it's a very popular linen. It's a higher end linen. And this is a 10% coupon that is good until July the 31st of 2026. You know, as high as these fabrics are, I'm sorry, the 10% is great. Any little bit helps. Because I'm telling you, great. If it's $100 for a yard for a fabric, it's going to take $10 off. So if you're just buying a small piece, yeah, it's not a huge deal. But just if you're getting several pieces, can you imagine? It would really help. Now this one there were one of three sisters that did this. And they are not sure which one did it. And they're, I believe they said that there are actually people that have the actual antiques in different parts of the world from each of these three sisters. So we're not sure which one of the three did this. They're thinking it might be Florence because her name is the biggest one down, and it's in this area, but they said it might just be because that's where it fit. And Alice and Lily, they're shorter names, so they went into the shorter area there. See, let me show it to you. And she said, and see all the animals in the bottom? Now, you need to also look in this in the understanding of the type of animals that are in Europe. It's not like we see here in the United States, okay? We've just, our country is more recent, so we have a lot of our wildlife still left, thankfully. Now, this one is done on... The model was done on 56 count Zweigart Dirty Teacup from Needle and Flax. I won't be doing it. I don't go above 40. I don't know if I'll ever want to go above 40. So I might do it on the 40, which the design in itself would be 13.45 by 17.95. And she's got the 6 inches. She's got 3 inches for finishing and then another 3 inches for framing. So I don't quite get, that actually totals 6 inches. So I don't quite get it, but there's probably something about it I'm not getting. But I love this. And it's, I want to do a wall with red work on top of that, because they practiced them over and over and over. Uppercase, lowercase, fancy alphabet, simpler alphabet, different fonts of alphabet, Roman numerals. They practiced them. So that was part of their lessons in school. So here's another voucher. This one's for something called Lady Lee Designs. Now, this is someone overseas, I think in the UK. I don't know if she has an Etsy shop. She works off of the Hands Across the Sea webpage. I've seen her post on there. And she also has an Etsy, Linda Klusmuck. Linda Clues. Anyway, there is a Target. I can't show it to you. I don't want to actually give you the number, the codes, because I'm not supposed to pass that on. But what she does is, if, say, you buy this fabric because you want the project bag to match the theme of what you're doing here. So you buy the fabric or any of her project bags. Or say you want her to, she buys some of the fabric and does it herself as well. You know, various different ways to have the fabric. So you want to send her the fabric, but that would mean sending it all the way back to the UK. So she'll sew it up for you. I think there may also be some people here in the United States that do that as well. But they're very simple to make. And Nicola gives a tutorial on her website. But there are also people here in the United States that make them. If you don't want to pay the tariffs for it. But she does give you a voucher that may be enough to cover the tariff. Here, hold on. I'm looking for the amount of the discount. Oh, 10%. I think the tariff is 10%. So that might help if you wanted to have her get the bag for you from Hands Across the Sea. Then you're not going to have to pay for that. And then you just have to pay for the shipping to get the completed bag from the UK to you. Now, I don't know if her shipping is as cheap as Nicola's shipping is. Nicola has a straight across the board $5 shipping. That does not include the tariff. And most countries do have tariffs that in one way, shape, or form are added on. It's just that it's new here, so it hasn't been built into the systems yet. But the UK, the Royal Mail there, is helping the sellers there out. And they are allowing us to pay for the tariff ahead of time. So basically, when you paid her, this 10% discount, I do believe would cover that tariff. I believe it's 10%. The only thing it's not 10% on are books. I don't think there's any tariff on books, but there were things in this packet that weren't books. I had the thread, I had the project bag, and then there were some things in the box here that were not books. So there was a tariff on this box of 20 some odd dollars. Yeah. Yours might not have been that high if you got the box, because you might not have gotten the extra stuff added in there. But I did. Okay, so this one's called Odile Francois. And I'm probably pronouncing this wrong, but this is from 1887. She finished it in 1887. And it looks to me like she was 13 when she completed this. And here it is. See the animals? Got your alphabet, your Christian symbology, and then lots of floral. But it's birds is what's on this one. And the model on here is on Sandstone by Fox and Rabbit. I've heard people talk about how wonderful Fox and Rabbit is to sew on. I've just never tried it yet. All right. Just to let you know, the price of this for people who did not get it was 299 global British pounds. And right now, it depends upon when you order it, when you pay, what the conversion rate is for that day, how much extra you have to pay to get it. And then I believe there's a 10% tariff on it. Oh, I really like this one. This one will go great towards the one that towards my collection of Adam and Eve. Now, she said this one originally had the name and date of the person that did it. They don't know who it was because the stitching was so degraded in the section down here where the name and everything date was, that they could not read it. They couldn't get any hint of who it was. So they don't know. They don't know the year of it. They don't know what the name of the person was that did it. So what they replaced it was with the Garden of Eden, because how that relates to the creation of both humans and animals. And God created all the domestic animals there. So there we go. It's a really, really pretty sampler. And that one is very high on my list because of the Adam and Eve. Really cool, right? And this one is stitched on cactus wren. Uh-oh. Something's got we have ducks and chickens on the land here. They belong to my brother and his wife and daughter, and something's got them all worked up over there. I know that they have a relative arriving tonight. So this is anyway, the fabric is Cactus and Wren by Fox and Rabbit Linen. And they do not say the size and everything that it was finished on. So one more look, because that one's really cool. Okay. This is the last thing in here. this black one. Okay. This is a lot of patterns, guys. When you consider her patterns, average anywhere from, now some of them are much smaller patterns, so they're less. Oh, this one's a card. And this is what I told you about, well, in another video. See, this is a card. She makes these cards occasionally that show up, made from one of the pieces inside of the box. And they'll show up with other things sometimes. I had one that I've never seen that sampler show up in one of my other patterns that I ordered. She says everything in here about what you should have gotten. Oh, okay. She's characterizing that one that I put on the bag as a scissor fob. I'll probably leave it on the bag. On the video, she put it on here as well. Because it said the gifts that were in here were a fabric panel for the pin cushions, the microfiber cleaning cloth. See, she doesn't... And then the glasses case. A needle minder. The scissor fob. The zipper charm, and then the zipper pouch. So I think this, this is a zipper pouch. So she's calling the other one that I said was to go on, she's calling this a scissor fob, I guess. Because it doesn't say anything about having a... This may be the zipper charm. I think this is the zipper charm. And this is a scissor fob. Because it would be too much weight on those little scissors. Too big. So I think this is that. And then you get a zippered pouch. And we got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 patterns. Which average, they're close to $20 a pattern on her website. So this is not a bad deal. And then you end up with this pretty card. Now, she has a letter in here, but she doesn't really want it read on the internet. She wants to keep this between the people that bought the box and her. So I'm not going to read it out loud. I'm going to save it. And that's that. Okay, so that is the red box for 2026 for the Hands Across the Sea. I really do invite you to come to the Facebook group, which I will put in the links below, and join. She gives free patterns there. You have first dibs on when these, even though her goal was always to open these up to sell, these larger thread, with the larger spools of thread on them, was always to open them up to sell on her website. She always sells out of them to the group. I've only once ever seen them go until the day. Sorry about that. Within a few minutes of her posting them, they disappear. She usually has 1 or 2 colors available. I think this time she just had this one color. I'm not certain. There was a green one in the picture, but I think that was just part of the picture. So I do invite you to go to her website. There's freebies that show up on there. Like we got 3 free sampler patterns in February. And a lot of times they're small. I think these are a little bit bigger this time. They can be anything from simpler to more complicated. So I highly, highly recommend that you join the Hands Across the Sea on Facebook. As I say, I will put a link in the description box below. And then I'll try to remember to put it in the comments section. Some people say they have trouble seeing the description. Some people say they can't see the comments on there. I can see the description when I look at it on my regular TV, but I can't see the comments. So, but the links don't work when you do it on TV anyway. But it's the Hands Across the Sea group on Facebook. So you can also just go to Facebook and look it up if you want to do that. And these are all of my goodies. I am so happy to get this box. Right now I'm trying to get rid of my trash. And I've been really excited to present this. I don't know how many years it will take me to get them done, or because of all that I showed in my earlier video that I have plans to do. But if I can get a couple of these started this year, that would be great. Like I said, they need to be started. They just don't have to be finished. So we will see you guys at the next video. And I hope that you enjoyed this one. I'm sorry it was so long. It's way above the hour, the 30 minutes that I'm trying to keep my videos down to. But it did take me a while to go through the box. See you guys later. Bye-bye.